Hey everyone. It seems like you're ready to explore AI ETFs.
Definitely a hot topic.
So we'll break down some of the top options out there.
We'll help you figure out how to pick the right one for you,
We'll make it clear and easy to understand.
even if you're not a financial expert.
Exactly. I think one of the coolest things about AI ETFs is that they offer a way to diversify your risk.
Absolutely. Instead of betting on just one AI company.
You can spread your investment across a whole basket of companies involved in AI.
That way, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. You're riding the AI wave without having to pick individual winners.
It's like having a team of experts curating your AI portfolio.
Love that analogy. Okay, let's jump right in. We're going to look at 6 leading AI ETFs.
Each with its own unique strategy and focus.
We'll break them down one by one so you can see what makes them tick.
And figure out which one might be right for you.
Sounds good to me. Let's start with the XTracker's Artificial Intelligence and Big Data ETF.
Ticker symbol XAIX.
What's the story with this one?
This one is all about patents.
Patents.
Yeah, XAIX focuses on companies that are heavily involved in securing patents related to AI and big data.
Interesting.
Patents are often a leading indicator of innovation.
So you're saying XAIX is betting on the companies that are building the foundation for the future of AI.
Precisely.
Okay, I'm starting to see the logic here.
It's a way to invest in the building blocks of AI.
And all that for an expense ratio of 0.35%.
Not bad at all.
Now let's move on to the Invesco AI and Next Gen Software ETF.
That's IGPT.
This one sounds a bit broader.
IGPT takes a wider approach.
So instead of focusing solely on AI companies,
It includes companies that are integrating AI into their operations across various sectors,
I see.
like healthcare, finance, and more.
So it's recognizing that AI's impact isn't limited to the tech industry.
Exactly. AI is changing the game in so many different fields.
And IGPT wants to capture that broader trend.
Precisely.
This one has some big names in its top holdings,
You
right?
bet. NVIDIA, Alphabet, Meta Platforms, Advanced Micro Devices,
All major players in the AI space.
and the expense ratio for IGPT is 0.60%.
All right, a bit higher than XAIX.
But it reflects the broader scope.
Okay, up next we have the Global X Artificial Intelligence and Technology ETF.
AIQ for short.
Global X, I've heard of them.
They have a few interesting AI ETFs, actually.
What's special about this one?
AIQ is a mix of large cap and mid cap companies.
So it's got a balance of established players and up-and-coming innovators.
Exactly. It's a diverse mix of companies building the AI ecosystem.
I see, so it's not just about the flashy AI application.
It's also about the infrastructure, the behind-the-scenes technology that makes it all happen.
Makes sense. Which companies are we talking about here?
Cisco, Oracle, and of course, NVIDIA again.
NVIDIA seems to be everywhere.
They really are a dominant force in the AI chip market.
Makes sense why they're a popular holding in these AI ETFs.
For sure. Now, the expense ratio for AIQ is 0.68%,
All right, a little higher than IGPT.
but still a competitive rate.
Let's move on to another Global X ETF, this time the Global X Robotics and Artificial Intelligence ETF.
Ticker symbol BOTZ.
Robots and AI.
Now we're talking.
This one sounds like it's stepping into the world of science fiction.
BOTZ is for investors who are excited about the tangible applications of AI through robotics.
Tangible applications, so we're talking about real-world stuff, right?
Exactly. Think industrial automation, surgical robotics,
Yeah.
self-driving vehicles.
Wow, the areas where robots and AI are really changing how things are done.
That's what BOTZ is all about.
So it's capturing the excitement of AI taking physical form and transforming industries.
You got it. BOTZ holds companies like Intuitive Surgical.
I've heard of them. They make those amazing surgical robots.
Right. And ABB, a leader in industrial automation.
And of course, we can't forget about NVIDIA.
It's always a key player.
Yeah.
The expense ratio for BOTZ is 0.68%.
Same as AIQ. Interesting.
Now let's talk about the Roundhill Generative AI and Technology ETF.
Ticker symbol CHAT.
This one's all about the buzzy world of generative AI.
Generative AI.
You know, the tech behind things like ChatGPT, DALL-E, those AI systems that can create new content.
Ah, got it. So CHAT is tapping into that creative power of AI.
Exactly. And it's a very specialized ETF.
What makes it so special?
CHAT uses a proprietary scoring system to rank companies based on their involvement in generative AI.
So it's really laser focused on this particular niche.
You could say that. It's for investors who believe generative AI is going to be huge.
The expense ratio for CHAT is 0.75%.
A bit higher, but it reflects the specialized nature of the fund.
Okay, I can see that.
All right, on to our last AI ETF for today, the iShares Future AI and Tech ETF.
Ticker symbol RDA.
Think of this one as a well-rounded blend of AI companies.
Okay, how so?
It's got a mix of large cap and small cap companies involved in AI,
So it's covering a broad spectrum of players.
from the big names to the up-and-comers.
It's like a one-stop shop for AI investing.
You could say that. Already holds about 50 companies.
Okay, quite a few.
Yeah.
Any familiar names in there?
You'll see NVIDIA again, of course.
No surprise there.
And Broadcom, they're big in AI infrastructure.
Right, they make the chips that power a lot of AI applications.
Exactly. And we can't forget AMD, another major player in the chip market.
AMD, they're definitely making waves in the AI space.
RDY comes with an expense ratio of 0.47%,
That's pretty reasonable.
especially for such a diversified fund.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. 6 different AI ETFs, each with its own unique approach.
It's amazing to see the diversity in this space.
I know, it's both exciting and a bit overwhelming.
Definitely a lot to take in.
Maybe we should pause here for a minute.
Give everyone a chance to process all this information.
Yeah, a quick break would be good.
We'll be back soon to continue our deep dive.
We'll talk about how to choose the right AI ETF for your portfolio.
And some key things to keep in mind when you're evaluating these ETFs.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone. I bet you've had some time to think about all those AI ETFs.
I know I have. It's a lot to digest.
But now it's time to shift gears.
Yeah, let's talk about how to actually choose the right AI ETF.
How to pick the one that's perfect for you.
Exactly. Because
Right.
it's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Everyone has different investment goals and risk tolerance,
So true. Some people are comfortable with a lot of risk,
while others prefer to play it safe.
and that's totally fine. There's an AI ETF out there for everyone.
The key is to know yourself as an investor
To understand your comfort level with risk.
and to be honest about your investment timeline.
Right, are you looking for short-term gains or long-term growth?
Those are important questions to ask yourself.
And how do those factors play into choosing an AI ETF?
Well, each AI ETF carries a different risk profile
Based on the companies it holds.
and its overall investment strategy.
Can you give us an example?
Sure, let's take Chat, the Roundhill Generative AI and Technology ETF.
The one focused on those AI systems that can create new content.
Right. That one might be considered higher risk.
Because generative AI is still a relatively new and unproven field.
Exactly. It has a ton of potential.
That's also more volatile.
Now, compare that to AIQ, the Global X Artificial Intelligence and Technology ETF.
The one with a mix of large cap and mid cap AI companies.
Right. AIQ includes more established companies,
Companies that are already integrating AI into their operations.
and that makes it a bit less risky.
More stable, perhaps.
Exactly. So if you're someone who's a bit risk-averse,
AIQ might be a better choice in chat.
but if you're willing to take on more risk,
And you believe in the long-term potential of generative AI.
then Chat might be a good fit.
It really depends on your individual circumstances.
And your investment goals.
Speaking of goals, what about the investment timeline?
That's another crucial factor.
You mentioned it earlier.
If you have a longer time horizon,
You might be more comfortable with higher risk, higher reward ETFs.
ETFs that invest in those cutting-edge AI companies that are still in their early stages.
But if you need to see returns more quickly,
You might prefer ETFs that focus on more established AI players.
companies with a proven track record of success.
Exactly. Your timeline shapes your strategy.
It's like choosing between a sprint and a marathon.
That's a great way to put it. Now, let's not forget about expense ratios.
Those fees that ETF providers charge.
They might seem small
But they can add up over time.
and eat into your returns.
So how do we find that balance
Between getting access to a great AI ETF,
and not paying an arm and a leg in fees
it's about being a savvy investor, looking at the expense ratio,
and comparing it to other similar ETFs?
and asking yourself if the value the ETF provides justifies the cost.
Right, sometimes a higher expense ratio might be worth it,
If the ETF is offering something truly unique,
like a very specialized investment strategy.
or access to a hard-to-reach corner of the AI market,
But if there's a cheaper option that's just as good,
then go for it.
don't overpay for something you can get for less.
Makes sense. Now let's talk about diversification.
The idea of spreading your risk across multiple investments.
It's a fundamental principle of investing.
And it's just as important with AI ETFs,
You want to make sure you're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
so to speak.
Exactly. When you're looking at an AI ETF,
Pay attention to how many companies it holds.
the more diversified, the better.
Because if one company stumbles, it won't take down your entire portfolio.
Exactly. It's all about managing risk.
Now, beyond the number of companies,
You also want to look at sector exposure.
so which industries the ETF is invested in?
Right, some AI ETFs stick to the tech sector.
while others branch out into healthcare, finance, industrials,
It depends on the ETF strategy.
and your own investment preferences
Exactly. You want to make sure your AI investments
are aligned with your overall portfolio strategy.
in your risk tolerance.
This is so helpful. It's like we're building a checklist for evaluating AI
That's
ETFs.
exactly what we're doing, giving you the tools to make informed decisions.
I feel much more confident now.
Great. Now, one last thing to remember.
What's that?
Past performance is not always a reliable indicator of future results.
Oh, the classic disclaimer.
Yes.
But why is it especially important with AI ETFs?
Because AI is a rapidly evolving field.
What's hot today might be old news tomorrow.
Exactly. So don't get too caught up in past performance.
Don't just chase the hottest ETF
Do your research, understand the companies the ETF is investing in.
and look beyond the hype to see if there's real substance.
You got it. It's about being an informed investor.
Making decisions based on knowledge, not just emotions.
Exactly. That's how you build a successful portfolio.
Well, this has been incredibly enlightening.
I'm glad you found it helpful.
We've covered so much ground.
From understanding the different types of AI ETFs
To the key factors to consider when choosing one.
and everything in between.
Maybe we should take another quick pause.
Let all this information sink in.
We'll be back soon with our final thoughts on AI ETFs. All right, we're back. Ready to wrap up our AI ETF deep dive.
Let's do it. We've covered a ton of information.
From the different types of AI ETFs,
To the key factors to consider when choosing one.
like risk tolerance, investment timeline, expense ratios, diversification.
And the importance of looking beyond past performance.
I feel like I've learned so much.
That's what we aim for.
Now, I'm wondering,
Yeah.
what are you most excited about in the AI landscape right now?
From an investment perspective, I mean, that's a great question.
Like, what trends are catching your eye?
Well, I'm particularly fascinated by the convergence of AI with other technologies.
Convergence.
Yeah, like how AI is combining with cloud computing, big data analytics, the Internet of Things.
Oh, I see. So it's not just about AI in isolation.
Exactly. It's about how AI is amplifying the power of these other technologies
Creating all sorts of new possibilities.
and unlocking new investment opportunities.
In which areas specifically?
Keep an eye on sectors like healthcare, finance, manufacturing, transportation.
Those are industries that are ripe for AI disruption.
AI is already starting to transform those sectors.
So there's a lot of growth potential there.
Absolutely. And the pace of innovation is only accelerating.
So what's the key takeaway for investors?
Stay curious.
Don't be afraid to explore new areas of the AI landscape.
And keep learning.
The more you know about AI,
The better equipped you'll be to make smart investment decisions.
this has been an amazing conversation.
I really enjoyed it.
Thanks for sharing your insights.
My pleasure.
And thanks to all of you for joining us on this AI ETF journey.
We hope you found it valuable.
Remember, the future of AI is bright.
And there are plenty of opportunities out there for savvy investors.
So stay tuned. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the world of finance and technology.
Until then, happy investing.